Well, here it is. The return of Here's Why. Previously, I took a dive into Super Mario Sunshine and explained how I believed it was not only a weak Mario game, but also a weak platformer in general. That video was mostly negative, so this time I thought it was high time to talk about and explain my favourite game of all time, which just happens to be a Mario game. Super Mario Galaxy. Mario in space. How is he breathing? Who gives a floppy? This game is freaking good, like, oh my god, it makes me happy. But I will try my best to be critical and bring up the few weaknesses of this game. There isn't much to say about the history of this game, besides that they made a new Mario game on the Wii, focusing around gravity or something. And maybe it was based on Mario 128, I don't know. This is my favourite game of all time. Here's why. So the game begins with a callback to Super Mario 64, with Peach sending a letter promising cake or something. I like to imagine it's a mushroom cake, you know, because it's Mario and he does the shroom. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, this quaint little town of toads gets brutally nuked by Bowser. Like, some toads are frozen alive and you cannot save them here. Hundreds are dead. Naturally, Mario goes into the castle to save Peach, and Bowser is now normal-sized and forgot how to speak English. Thank the mushroomy lord. And then, get this, Bowser summons a UFO to lift the castle into space. I think it's safe to say this is much better than having a bath. After this, Kamek shows up and sends Mario hurtling into the relentless vacuum of space, somehow not having his lungs explode instantly. You lose. The end. But wait, we cut back to Mario waking up to a strange little star creature on what seems to be some kind of moon. The star, called Lumas, transforms into a bunny, and then you have to catch 3 of them, which gets you used to the spherical planet and strange gravity. So yeah, it's a tutorial. But it feels like a natural level and not a press A to jump kind of deal. It's good. After catching the bunnies, you are introduced to Rosalina, a space goddess or something of the sort. She then blesses Mario with a spin attack, fueled by a white Luma hiding on Mario's sweaty Italian head under his hat. And then you play through a pretty fun first level and collect a Grand Star. This transports Mario to the Comet Observatory, where Rosalina and the Lumas live. Mario must then collect power stars in the levels to bring back power or something. You got all that? There's a quiz. I did criticize Sunshine for having a long intro, but the difference here is that gameplay is spliced in between the cutscenes, which makes it less boring to me. Also, Mario isn't getting wrongfully arrested in this one, so that alone makes it better. So Galaxy is on the Nintendo Wii, so you know what that means. Motion controls, baby! But unlike many other games cursed with motion controls like Skyward Sword, Sonic Unleashed, Mega Man, this game uses it well. First of all, the previously mentioned spin attack is done by shaking either the Wiimote or Nunchuck. Now this may sound like it sucks, but it feels natural and minimal enough that it doesn't interfere with anything else. The spin attack allows Mario to break crystals, crates, and attack most enemies, but it also allows for a slightly higher jump when done in the air. But the game also uses pointer controls, with which you control a star, which can collect star bits, which are the game's currency. You'll need them. Other than that, the controls are self-explanatory. A jumps, stick moves, Z allows you to contort, etc. However, there is one particular secret technique the game doesn't teach you. If you spin during a ground pound, it will execute a homing ground pound. Now don't tell anyone I told you this, it's a secret. Shh. Now some people complain that the controls would bug out when running around tiny spheres, but I rarely ran into any issues. Different stories for different folks, I guess. Now we get into the good shit. There are so many galaxies in this game. I mean, who'd have thought, right? Most of them have multiple stars located in them, like in 64 and Sunshine. Let's start with the beginning level, Good Egg Galaxy. This selection of stars teaches you a lot about the mechanics. pole stars, gravity, pipes, humming bullet bills, puzzles, hungry lumas, and more. But we also get 2 great boss battles, the first being Dino Piranha. Pretty simple, spin its tail 4 times and you win! Yay! But then we have King Caliente, a giant lava octopus. In this fight you play a game of Wii tennis, but instead of bowls, it's fireballs and coconuts. Spin the coconuts, not the fire, and you win. Most of the galaxies introduce new ideas that expand on Mario's moveset. For example, Space Junk Galaxy has these sling pods where you use your cursor to sling Mario towards the goal. Or Buoy Base Galaxy has you guiding torpedoes towards a weight, which changes the level's layout. Or Ghostly Galaxy has you race a Boo, who rewards you with a star if you beat him. Some levels are even focused around the motion controls, levels where you surf on a stingray or balancing on a ball. Many people complain about the controls being confusing or flat out not working, but I had 0 issues and actually loved these levels, so shut up and get good. The levels in this game are designed to be more linear, unlike the open-ended levels in 64 and Sunshine. Some people see this as a bad thing, but I like the linear approach. It's like playing Mario World but in a 3D. And in space. Another thing to mention are the prankster comets, which adds a challenge to galaxies, such as speed runs, one-hit runs, having to collect a certain amount of purple coins, and my favourite, the races against the cosmic clones. These are all pretty simple to understand, can be pretty punishing, especially late game. I could gush about each individual level, but I'll move on to... This might have my favourite lineup of bosses in a Nintendo game. Besides from Dino Piranha and Caliente, this game has you fighting, I don't know, a giant spider with massive pimples, a space witch, a shark skeleton, and a mole. Yeah, a mole, and it's fantastic. One of my favourites is Bouldergeist, a giant spirit that can control rocks or something. He creates armour and giant arms out of boulders, and to destroy them you must fling around explosive boos and then hit his big, red, dangly thing. Yeesh. I also love the fight against Bowser Jr., where you must throw Koopa shells at the airship whilst avoiding bullet bills, fireballs, and magic Koopas. Epic. Remember Dino Piranha and Caliente? I hope you do, because now they both return in souped up forms. Dino Piranha is now a firebender. Now you need to time your spins to avoid getting singed. And Caliente got burnt in the oven and has a slightly harder fight. Now you must pay attention to the sinking platforms below you, and avoid meteors. There is nothing better than a redemption story. Similar to 64, you fight Bowser multiple times, with each fight becoming progressively harder. But I won't talk about the final fight just yet. Just you wait your little head, young one. This game actually has power-ups. Wow! Let's go over them. First is the new bee mushroom, which transforms Mario into a bumblebee. Now you can fly for a limited amount of time and cling onto honey. But walking into water will get rid of the power-ups, because bees hate water, I guess. This power-up is introduced in the first batch of galaxies, so you'll use it a decent amount. The next new mushroom is the Boo Shroom. In the Boo form, Mario can hover infinitely and turn invisible to fade through certain walls. That's really it. Then there is the Ice and Fire Flowers. These power-ups are actually timed. With the Fire Flower, your spin is replaced by throwing fireballs, and with the Ice Flower, you can walk on water and lava, and wall jump between waterfalls in that one level. Freaking awesome. Now here is where the main complaint shows his ugly face. I feel like there is so much missed potential with the power-ups. You're barely used. Why not have a stealth level with the Boo Shroom, or more levels that experiment with the Ice Flower and water? It's really a shame because the sequel made these power-ups even more useless. The Bee Mushroom is the only one I think was used to the best it could have been. And the Fire Flower had some cool puzzles, I guess. So during editing, I noticed that I completely forgot the Spring Mushroom. That probably says how forgettable that power-up is. I also don't really count the Red Star as a power-up, more of a reward. Next. So, you're in space. No duh. But does it feel like you're in space? Absolutely. The skyboxes do an excellent job at displaying the endlessness and loneliness of space. Unlike Galaxy 2, which is mostly blue skies and clouds, that is not space. Jacob Geller made an excellent video on this exact topic, and I would recommend giving that a watch. Link in the description maybe, if I remember. Another thing that furthers this is the music. Songs like Space Junk Galaxy, Good Egg Galaxy, and Freeze Flame Galaxy have a very spacey feel, you know? Well, that's not saying every song will remind you that the universe is incomprehensibly huge, and our existence is only a minuscule speck that may or may not be alone. There are some absolute bangers here, like Buoy Base Galaxy, Battle Rock Galaxy, and the ever-famous Gusty Garden Galaxy. It's so good! The beauty of this game sort of speaks for itself, doesn't it? So I guess I'll move on. You know, for a game released over 10 years ago, on the Wii no less, this game still looks jaw-dropping. Everything is so colourful and full of life. No one galaxy looks identical, almost. And also, Bowser doesn't look dopey like in 64 and Sunshine. He looks like a deadly scary beast. Oh, and the cinematic cutscenes are a spectacle. Some Mario Odyssey cutscenes don't hit the same nerve for me. I already mentioned how great the atmosphere is, but the overall presentation is the main reason that the atmosphere hits so hard. Consider this an expansion for the atmosphere segment. God, I love this game. So after the opening, the story never really goes anywhere until you collect the minimum amount of stars to power the observatory and reach the center of the universe to rescue Peach. Now, this final level plays with many mechanics that were shown to you before, while also introducing new ones. Gravity is explored, there are disappearing platforms, lava, ice, sinking sand, then the final stretch where you must maneuver around thwomps, fireballs and bullet bills. The fight against Bowser is a multi-stage fight, with each stage requiring a new way to beat Bowser. It just feels so grand with the amazing music and visuals and legit challenge, which culminates with the defeat of Bowser. Usually it would just end right there. Nah, not this time. This time, Mario witnesses the death as well as the creation of a new identical universe. Yep. Oh, and spoiler alert, I guess. End of game. Now there is one other story in this game. The sad and surprisingly deep story of Rosalina. Yes, that is a Mario character with a deep backstory. I won't spoil it because I want you to discover this if you haven't already. A minor complaint I and many others have had is that Mario Galaxy tends to introduce new gimmicks or gameplay mechanics and then instantly get rid of them and replace them with a new idea. For example, in Space Junk Galaxy there are these platforms that only appear as you walk towards them. This idea never shows up again, except for in the final level. Some other barely explored ideas include shell swimming, racing, and ice skating, and more. Now, this is a problem for many, but for me it's only minor. I guess that's just my ADHD in me, looking for new ideas left and right. Other than that, the other complaint is that the reward for 100% is mediocre. Just like in Sunshine. If you collect every star, you can do it all again with Luigi. Now that's a decent reward. So what do you get if you 200% this game? One extra level and a photo in your Wii Messenger. Ugh. I would say it's not worth it, but I've 200%ed the game twice, so I can't really say that, can I? Those are the only legit complaints. This game is the closest to being perfect for me personally. Not perfect, but damn close. Anyway, thank you for watching me ramble on about this game. It just makes me so happy, and believe me, I had to cut many points to keep the video short enough. Next time on Here's Why, I talk about a video game for a while. End.